Okay, we're about ready to get underway here. Class 1, we need you down at the gate. Do not enter the ring yet. We will tell you when to come in. Just hang out down there for a little bit. We're going to have some opening remarks and national anthem and stuff like that. So just hang loose. Delilah Linger, Cohen Durst, Andrew Roush, Brody Schaefer, Addison Steen, Ava Stewart, Chloe DeWeese, and Ethan Grimm. Be at the gate. Do not enter yet. Okay, if everybody will stand with me, we're going to have a national anthem and prayer right after, so remain standing after the national anthem. Alexander Reed will be singing this for us. She's our Miss 4H.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, remain standing with me. John Salter is going to lead us in prayer here today.
I can sing that pretty. I would sing every word ever spoken. Give her another round of applause. Heavenly Father, God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this beautiful weather, the time to be here. Lord, as we come into this Peter Catholic vision, Lord, I ask you to be with the young ladies and young men that are part of this. Lord, give them poise and courage, Lord, that they need at this time. Lord, help them to show the animal that they work so hard to do, and Lord, give them the ability to do so. God, I thank you for all you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, John. Man, thank you, Alexander. Take one quick second here to introduce our judge. Our judge today is originally from Elkhorn, Hart, Indiana. If you haven't been here all week and your first time, he's been doing a real good job for us. And he became very involved in showing as well as judging. He followed that by attending South Plains College in Lebanon, Texas. He then made his way to Texas Tech University to complete his bachelor's degree in animal science with a concentration in business. Connor and his wife Mallory currently reside in Lubbock, Texas, where he serves as a livestock judging coach at South Plains College. And he enjoys evaluating shows and working with the youth nationwide. So all the way here from Lubbock, Texas this week, make welcome our judge, Mr. Connor Brew. All right, we're going to get right underway. Our first class up today in our Peter Cash show is Delilah Linger, Cohen Durst, Andrew Roush, Brody Schaefer, Addison Steen, Ava Stewart, Chloe DeWeese, and Ethan Grimm. That is our first class today. These calves weigh anywhere from 310 to 385. We have a total of 8 in this group. And Judge Brew, looks like this is your class. Our sponsors for today's Feeder Calf Show, our Grand Champion Feeder Calf banner is sponsored by 3M Farms. The Reserve Champion Feeder banner is sponsored by All Climate Solutions, Heating and Cooling. Also being a Grand Champion will receive a belt buckle, sponsored and supplied by United Producers and the Feedstock. Rookie of the Year banner, sponsored by the Road-Runner 4-H Club, goes to the highest placing exhibitor in this class, and show the first year of showing. The Jack Sturgeon Memorial Award will be presented to the Grand Champion winner today. George Shell Memorial Award presented to the third place Feeder Calf exhibitor. Born and raised winner in the Feeder Calf Show will get $500, sponsored by Drop Time Properties, LLC. Clean Stall Award is sponsored by Logan Farm. The banners for all the shows this year were purchased locally at the Mason County Career Center. They were designed and printed by the graphic design team class. Mulch in the Ring was donated by DJM Hardwoods and Veneer in West Columbia. And David Rollins, thank him for all his help in getting the mulch placed in the show ring. And Jack Whitmire for the concrete pad for the scales in the show ring. And Jack Whitmire, he, like I said, sponsored the concrete pad for the scales, and he is also with Main Street Barbershop down on Main Street. So if you need a haircut, go see Jack. The backdrop down there where the pictures being taken are sponsored by Rocky and Susan Sturgeon. Thanks, Rocky and Susan. And thanks to all of our sponsors this year, and let's give them a round of applause. This time we're going to ask Class 2. Make your way to the gate, please. Class 2, Braden Wallace, Huck Zussman, Bailey Nance, Blake Flowers, Mason Thames, Claire Thompson, and Brantley Peters. Class 2, make your way to the gate. Class 3, be getting ready. You are on standby.
as we shift gears and transition into your feeder calf show. If you haven't watched in here in the heifer show, looking for a more so cattle that are going to go home for the young people in production. As we get to the steer show tomorrow night, cattle that are kind of reaching their end point, you got to use your mind and imagination a little bit in a feeder calf or a prospect steer show, because these cattle are so far from their end point and have so much more time to go and gain time on feed. Yet at the same time, we need to respect muscle and stoutness as well. So this pair of cattle, I don't care. We saw some nice ones through showmanship the other day, but I'd be perfectly fine with using both of these steers here to win the show later on. I think they're both very, very nice cattle. Between the pair, the white one just kind of eats them alive. Everywhere you study him, he's just a little stouter from the ground up. He's a powerful rib steer. He's got a world of muscle when you get in behind him. And with that, he's still a nice show steer here from the profile. Fresh, good haired steer that's nice up through his front end. He's not just as elitely sound in motion. Part of that's not helped by the fact he's a bit of a knothead and he's frisky. He's out here wanting to jump around. So that doesn't help his top line, but at the same time, I think that steer's plenty sound. Just kind of eats the other one alive when you get right in behind him. But I want to commend you because your showmanship capabilities, the hair coat, the freshness, everything you do with this steer is very, very impressive. When you get out and go, I like that steer real well. He's a proud fronted calf. He is so sound and loose in terms of his joint work. Buddy, for me, as I get right in behind him today, I didn't know if he was just stout enough and muscular enough here in the steer show division. But I think long term, if he gets enough to him, he could certainly surpass that calf we let off with. I like both those steers, quite a good deal. Another real big-legged sound one here. Yeah, man, when you get him out in the motion, he really covers his track. He takes a good step there. I guess the call with him as well, a lot like the steer in front of you. For where he's at in the size weight perspective, I get behind him. I wish he had a little more to him. He's a little close at the ground. He's a little closer at his hip. I wish he had a little bit more muscle. But once again, if he gets enough down the road with a good feed program, he could certainly leapfrog those two cattle in front. We got a pair of red tinge cattle that are very similar. Generally, I like the soundness and structure a little bit nicer in your steer. I really prefer the muscle here. This steer is a lean, mean fighting machine. He has a world of muscle and a world of shape. He's a little tight in his body for me, and I wish he was a little sounder when I studied that steer there in motion. And man, that's where I think your steer holds a very good advantage over the two cattle in front of you. He is really productive, a good body, moderate steer that looks like it's going to be easy feed for you down the road. The time will tell if he gets just stout enough in terms of his hip and his muscle from behind. But that's a very, very nice steer for him. Between these two cattle, I really like just the moderation. And I think this calf's going to be real easy to feed for you like the young man's in front of you. He's a moderate, good-bodied steer. It doesn't have the same just width all the way throughout or just weight and power as some of the cattle that go in front of you. Yeah, man, I like this steer from the side. He's a long neck steer. He's real level down his top line. Has some just structural integrity, too, when he goes in motion. He's so long body, buddy, that he looks a little shallow and a little hard doing, and maybe just isn't as practical in terms of his body type as a few cattle ahead of you. But that's a nice steer from the side. So a lot of differences like we had in your heifer show, but a lot of good cattle and young people working hard. You guys have been great this week. Give him a nice round of applause, please.
All right, results from Class 1. 8th place for Ethan Graham. 7th, Delilah Langer. 6th is Brody Schaefer. 5th, Chloe DeWeese. 4th, Ava Schaefer. Andrew, you want to hold your cane up there, your stick up down there for us. That's Andrew Rouse. Andrew's been with us for 13 years. This is his last year of showing. So he started when he was 9 and 13. I'm not going to say how old he is, but that tells you right there if you add it up. 2nd place was Cohen Durst, and our 1st place in that class was Addison Steen. Congratulations. Okay, next up, Class 2 should be at the gate ready. As soon as we're emptied up here, you can come on in. Okay, Class 2, we need Braden Wallace, Huck Zussman, Bailey Nance, Blake Flowers, Mason Payne, Claire Thompson, and Brantley Peters. Class 2 feeder calves. And we have 7 in the ring, Judge. This is your class. We need Class 3, make your way to the gate. Class 3, make your way to the gate, please. Alan Pearson, Porter Snodgrass, Trent Daughtery, Austin Kiefer, Connor Buckle, Hannah Fry, Drake Gardner, and Leah Meadows. Make your way to the gate, please. Class 3. Class 4, be getting ready. You are on standby. All right, I'm gonna have our fair royalty introduce herself while the judge is looking this group.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lilia Bowles, your 2025 Mason County Fair Queen. Hello, everyone. My name is Olivia Stanley, and I'm the first runner-up to the Mason County Fair Queen. Hello, everybody. My name is Olivia Pearson, and I'm the third runner-up to the Mason County Fair Queen. Hi, everybody. My my name is Lauren Kincaid, and I'm your 2025 Miss Congeniality.
Hello everybody, I'm Eliana Martindale, and I'm your 2025 Young Miss 4-H.
Hello everyone, I'm Mary Sumner, your 2025 Junior Miss 4-H.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alessandra Reed, and I'm your 2025 Miss 4-H.
Okay, give them another round of applause. Thank you, ladies.
This is a really nice group of cattle all the way down the line, and I do think there's some difference in discussion amongst second and third, really, amongst this class. I'll tell you, all my time working with livestock and judging shows, I've never used a blue roan or a black and white one, and apparently I got two of them here in the top pair, so I'm all right with it. I like the coloration of both these cattle. They're a little different than the rest. With that, young lady, I really like this steer that leads you out. I challenge you guys, whether you know a lot about livestock or not, watch this steer get out and go, man. I think it's a telltale sign. He takes to the halter well because he put in the work, and he's well broke and well shown, but mainly he goes because he's so sound. You know, that calf is awesome in his feet, got great joints, great structure, and then of the remaining group, he's got more body than the steer coming in second. I like him up through his front end a little bit nicer than the steer in third, and I think that's just a really, really hard one to pick a major hole in. He's going to add up real nicely in our overall lineup because, again, a steer that's that nice fronted, that long body, to have his belly and his structure is really, really hard to do. Congratulations, Young Lady. You guys make a nice pair and a good class winner there. I like this blue roan real well, buddy, up to his front end. He is a little cleaner at this stage of the game for where we're at in a weight perspective, a little tidier through his shoulder, his chest floor, and then still between those two cattle, you get right in behind him. He kind of just has more hip and more muscle than the steer in behind. While you're not our class winner, bud, in relation to this young lady steer, he's a little tight in his body still. He's just a little green in terms of his depth, and then he's not as sound in his hind leg as those two cattle go, but that's a great pair of roan cattle there. This thick-nosed black and white steer, man, he is just a real solid type of a steer. He's more moderate in his frame size than the steer in front of him. He's got more body and just appears to be a little easier feeding in terms of his kind. I didn't make a call if he had the same power, and I got right in behind him. I didn't think he was as wide-based and just as muscular as those two. We brought a darn nice one here to the county fair. This red steer here, man, you get right behind him. He certainly runs up a spot or two because he is real thick and muscular in terms of his kind, real expressive in his muscle shape as well. Funny where his shoulder moves into his forearm, he'll get just a little tight and almost a little tubular there, and I wish we could make him a little smoother because I think that'd bring his top line together and you have a little more presence from the side. But a really powerful steer. You've done a good job with his hair and getting the muscular there. This steer here, real nice, and he has those advantages in terms of looseness of structure and smoothness of shoulder. Not the same width as I get right in behind. You study those two hips. If you're right behind me, just not as powerful all the way through there. A pair of cattle I think are real similar in terms of kind. Both very sound, both nice up through the front ends. For me, guys, in relation to some of the ones that beat you, a little tighter body, just not as powerful still when I get in behind them. Very green cattle still that all need a lot more time here as we work on feed. So another fun class as we keep working through your feeder steer show. Congratulate that young lady up front. She's got a nice steer along with the rest of them. They all deserve a good round of applause.
Class 2 results. 7th place, Huck Zuspin. 6th was Mason Payne. 5th, Bailey Nance. 4th, Blake Flowers. 3rd, Braden Wallace. 2nd, Brentley Peters. And our first place finisher in that class was Claire Thompson. Next up, Class 3, you may enter the ring at this time. We need Talon Pearson, Porter Snodgrass, Trent Daugherty, Austin Kiefer, Connor Buckle, Hannah Fry, Drake Gardner, and Leah Meadows. Okay, Judge Brew, this is your class. Class 4 feeder calves. Class 4, make your way to the gate, please. Class 4 feeders. Mr. Levi Brinker, Brooks Patterson, Kylan Durst, Silas Schultz, Bailey Bays, Olivia Bays, Credence Flowers, Keegan Kirkpatrick, and Ethan Stiltner. Class 4, make your way to the gate, please. Class 5, be getting ready. You are on standby.
As we look in ringside, you can tell we have every color, shape, size you can ever imagine in a prospect steer show. And why I like judging at this weight, probably even a little bit more than a market cattle, is again, you got to keep a lot of things in check. I think there's some cattle that are ready to rumble here that are maybe just a little too quick in terms of their maturity curve. So trying to weigh out where I want to be from a prospect mindset, but also trying to picture these cattle as big fat steers is just a little challenging. This calf that leads out at times like right now, he'll kind of knuckle up on his right rear foot, but when he settles down, to me, when that steer gets in motion, he wins this deal by a good mile. Now he's not as blessed with his hair coat as a few in behind. He's not just as fluffy and as fuzzy, but what you see is what you get. What you get is a real good piece of livestock. That is his muscular back, his big ended, and his good-legged one that we've had in the ring so far. And you can't tell me he's ugly or just not a show steer because he's very long-necked and he really gets out and goes well for the young man. Again, not as hairy, he's a few in behind, but I like that steer's kind and what he represents. He's a practical steer that's got muscle and still balances up like a nice show steer here. I thought 2, 3, and 4 really is where some discussion needed to happen. Buddy, I didn't know if this steer just had enough genuine width. When I got right in behind and watched him walk away, he's a little narrower based, he's a little plainer, and his hip and his muscle isn't just as thick as the cattle on either side of you. I have him in second though, because again, as they go away, he's a little closed up at his base, but he's a little squarer and sounder than the steer that comes in behind. This black steer up to 3 is arguably just the stoutest and the most muscular from end to end. That's a big-footed, heavy-boned steer that's got some extension to him. They're waiting for me in a prospect steer show, and I continue to feed and add weight on this calf. As he walks right away from you, he's just a little bow-legged, and his left rear, mainly his left rear will twist out. His foot shape's not perfect. So as a lightweight steer, I see so much value. I ask myself, we put another 800 pounds on him, how is he going to handle it? And just his basic structure. But I like that steer very well. This calf here, a lot like our class winner, not blessed with the same hair coat as some cattle right there by him, but that is an all-American piece of livestock. You want to talk about cattle that are sound, nice balance, and bold and muscular, he does some things really well. Buddy, while I don't have the hair in the top end, he's just a little plainer in his shape, and he's not just as stout all the way through. But I thought that steer represented a better type of cattle than a few coming in behind. I'm sure this calf's got some fans around ringside, and I see it. That is a big-haired, ginormous legged individual. I mean, he's got the big leg disease, the big hair disease, and he's a good little prospect steer. I would agree with all that. Buddy, for me, a lot like this steer that lands here in the 3 spot, he's just a little quick. If you study his length of cannon versus his shoulder and his height, I just don't know how big that steer ever gets in the long run. To hit a maximum endpoint or a market weight, I don't know that he gets there. But he is a stout, powerful little rip. There's no doubt about it. He's just too coarse and quick maturing for this particular judge. I like the growth here, the real world value of this red steer. A real extended, hard, lean, high ability type of a steer. They're not just as big boned or just as powerfully constructed as some cattle that'll precede you, but certainly a nice steer from a yield grade perspective. This black and white steer also follows the same suit, buddy. He's a real lean steer that's got some compositional correctness where he's at in a weight perspective. Another one of those that's just a little finer boned, a little more petite. When I get in behind him, I wish he had a little bit more muscle throughout. Honestly, if we're going to muscle and bone him out, we move your steer up another spot or 2 because he's a real good bodied steer that's got some expression to him. He's just a little piecey in his top line for me. He'll get a little round in his hip in motion, a little tighter all the way through. But that was a very interesting class. Of the time I've been here this week, probably just the most interesting and tough group to line out. A lot of differences. Hopefully you can see what I see. Good kids though, they worked hard. Give this young man, the rest of them, a nice round of applause.
Okay, congratulations to Class 3, our placements in Class 3. 8th was Austin Keeper. 7th, Porter Snodgrass. 6th is Hannah Fry. 5th is Alan Pearson. 4th, Drake Gardner. 3rd, Leah Meadows. 2nd, Trent Daughtery. And our first place finisher in that class was Connor Buckle. 4, you may enter the ring at this time. We're looking for Levi Brecker, Brooks Patterson, Tylen Durst, Silas Schultz, Bailey Bays, Olivia Bays, Credence Flowers, Keegan Kirkpatrick, and Ethan Stiltner. Okay, Judge Brew, we have a total of 9 in this class. Looks like this is your class. Class 5, you may now make your way to the gate, please. Class 5, Elijah Fry, Kylie Harrington, Wyatt Birchfield, Ty Deal, Nathan Thomas, Austin Gray, Ava Roach, and Matthew Thomas. Class 5, make your way to the gate. Class 6, you are on standby. Okay, if you're in the stands, you notice our judging system is a little bit different this year. I'm going to give you a quick explanation of what's going on. Some of you may not quite understand. Maybe your first year here watching, observing. So what's happening here in the ring, the judge is sorting through each class. We have a total of 7 classes here today. He's placing the animals, the calves, first place through however many's in the group. And once we get through all 7 classes, all first place finishers in each class will come back in and he will pick a grand champion out of the first place of each class. Now once that grand champion's picked, our second place from that same class will step in and fill in the spot for that grand champion. And we will keep doing that until we get the top 10 placed. Once top 10 placed, that'll be the end of the show. And so we'll keep filling in once the calf comes out. Whoever was next in line behind them in their class will step in their place. And sometimes you may get a second or third place calf up there right at the top that was, a little further back in their class, but may have been better than some of the first place in the other classes. So that's just a quick explanation of how this is working this year. It's different, I know for a lot of you, but it works great. Everybody seems to like it so far, so just bear with us and we'll get through 7 classes, get your grand reserve and the top 10 here in just a little bit.
Well, I really like this class. Probably my favorite group as we work through your feeder calf show. We got a lot of young showmen in here, and I appreciate that. And they're all doing a really nice job. These cattle are very well groped and very well shown. So it's nice to see from a show judge perspective. Second and third is really close for me in this grouping here. Head partner, you brought a nice one to the county fair. I think this one that leads out is a really, really good steer. He is flighty, he's attractive to look at, but then he has real muscle and real shape for where he's at in a weight perspective. Watch that calf again. Just get out and go and cover his track. Very, very sound, attractive, muscular calf. He's a little green still right in behind his shoulder. If you're going to get real nitpicky on him so he doesn't blend just perfect. But again, I thought those were really, really minute things on a very good steer there. I thought between the next two, I just think long term again, I think this calf pairs up there with your class winner. Very similar in terms of kind. The sound, good footed calf who's just a little longer in terms of his step when these two get out and go. But he's not just as powerful down his top, but right in behind him is a cattle on either side of you. But I thought his structure was really, really good. This is probably just the most meat and potato steer of the three. He is big top and real muscular for where he's at in a weight perspective. I like his width. I like his power. Of these three, he's a little tight. When we get him out and study him in motion, his tail head will kick up. He's just a little straighter in terms of his hind leg. The three very, very nice black cattle there on the front end. This smoke steer here is real expressive in his muscle. He's a lean, expressive steer that's got some stoutness and feature, buddy. For me, he's a little straight out of his front end, a little coarser at the edge of his shoulder. And if you look at his front feet, he'll kind of twist out there in his front 2 feet. So I'd like to square him up in terms of his structure. This red steer, young lady, you do a great job with. He is puppy dog calm. He just kind of almost to a point where he's so calm he just wants to drag his head. But that steer is good haired. He's well fit. He is big shaped and real muscular in his kind. A little weird up front in terms of his front feet again. A lot like the smoke steer. We'll kind of twist out in his front feet. Gets a little coarse in his shoulder. Not just as powerful when I get in behind him there. What do you as well? Just do a really nice job. And of these 4 black cattle that come in behind, I thought this steer is the soundest and the most practical. And when it comes down to just basics of a good body, easy feeding cattle that I think will really grow well for you and get to a heavy weight next year or as a market steer. Not just as powerful all the way throughout, but a good body, really sound steer here. This steer's wide based underneath, but maybe doesn't match it when I get on top of him. He's really wide underneath, but maybe just a little flat in his rib shape. I wanted to slide this calf up to maybe 3 spots here in the group towards the red steer, because he probably is the thickest. When I get in behind him or right on top of him, a hairy, big back, muscular steer, a little tight body for me and just a little wound up in terms of his structure. We conclude with the black and white steer. This young man also does a very nice job with. Very little sounder, buddy, than the steer that goes in front. When you get him out in motion, I didn't think he had the same power. When I step right in behind him, he'll twist in a little bit from behind. But again, all these young people are working very hard on a tough class here. Again, I give them all a nice round of applause here. We had a good class winner in a tough group.
All right, thank you, Class 4. 9 for Felix Flowers. 8, Keegan Kirkpatrick. 7, Ethan Stiltner. 6, Silas Schultz. 5th, Bailey Bays. 4th, Levi Brinker. 3rd, Olivia Bays. 2nd, Kylan Durst. And first place was Brooks Patterson in Class 4. Thanks, guys. Up next, Class 5. Class 5, you should be at the gate and ready to come on in. We need Elijah Fry, Kylie Arrington, Wyatt Birchfield, Ty Deal, Nathan Thomas, Austin Gray, Ava Roach, and Matthew Thomas. We have a total of 8 head in this class. Judge Brew, this is your class. All right, this time we're going to ask Class 6 to be making your way to the gates, please. Malaya Bechtel, Cole Hatfield, Addison Thaddy, Tucker Carr, Briar Simpkins, Cy Watterson, and Kane Brinker. Class 6, make your way to the gate. Class 7, be getting ready in the barn. You are on standby.
we can move in here to a heavier weight. A lot of very nice cattle. This is a good group here, and again, I think as we split the top three up in relation to the steer and four, just so much sounder and better balance and mainly in motion there. I just like their type of cattle a little nicer. Now, this gray and white steer that leads out, he is not blessed with the same hair coat as the three cattle in behind him. But again, all you hear me talk on the class-winning steer is hair, and we're not doing a good enough job evaluating these things. That is a good steer, and I don't care what you say. A little dull colored, a little dull in terms of his hair, but right there, that is a stout structured steer with a world of rib. His body shape, his rib cage quality, and his natural power is so hard to deny. And with that, I think that's the soundest steer when they get out and go and you study his rear foot, his rear joint, and just the way he gets out and covers his track. That is a darn complete steer that I just don't know if you can pick a hole in other than the fact he doesn't have the same hair as a few steers in behind. I think that one is very nice. I love this steer in motion as well, and I think he really keeps pace with what your class winner is, even a little fresher and a little more dolled up in terms of his hair and his presentation. Steer is very sound and very flexible when he gets out and goes. In relation to some of those steers in behind you and right in front of you, I just didn't rate him as big. Right in behind his shoulder is powerful when I got in behind him. But I think those two cattle stay together for me because they're sound, they're good body, they're flexible cattle, and I still think make very good show steers. Buddy, you did a good job sticking with this one. He was being a knothead on you for a little bit, wanting to run with you. Him, like the steer in front of you, maybe not just wide enough and chunky enough when I get in behind and study his rib and his muscle. But another calf that balances up really good. He's sound on his feet and legs, just not as thick as we work to a rear end there. This steer's a lot like the black and white one a couple classes ago. I'm clearly blessed with the big legs, the big hair, and yet you've done a marvelous job with him. And you put a good haired one on feed that's extra stout. Again, I'm in the business for show steers, and I promise I've made more money fitting cattle than anybody else in here. I like hair, I like big legs. I'm not at the sacrificing practicality and making sure cattle can grow. And to me, he's just a little quick and a little straight off either end. His spine, his body type, and for being as stout as he is, young lady, I get right in behind him and he's just a little too closed up in terms of his base width. But again, I hate to harp on you. You're a great showman. You've done a marvelous job with this calf. He's just not sound enough for me. I like this black and white steer's muscle and just his real expression and power. That thing has a big creased up back and he is extra expressive. And from a yield grade perspective, although we're on little prospect cattle, he looks like there'll always be a lean fighting machine, okay? For me, buddy, he's just a little tight in his flank in relation to his chest where we're at in a weight battle. So I think that's a really nice calf there. This white steer, the young man brings us a real long-bodied, extended steer. He's got plenty of body and plenty of width to him. We get a little piecey down his top line when I study him there in motion. We got a pair of red cattle that are very similar. Both of them there, very lean and expressive as well. Both need to be stoutened up when I get in behind him there. So once again, I've told you, I think these classes are challenging because we have so many different kinds. One thing I'm for sure of, I think this calf is real complete and hard to pick a major hole in. Give her and the rest of them a nice round of applause here as we continue to work through the steer show.
Thank you, Class 5. Starting 8th in that class, Nathan Thomas. 7th was Matthew Thomas. 6th was Austin Gray. 5th, Elijah Fry. 4th, Kylie Arrington. 3rd, Ty Deal. 2nd, Wyatt Birchfield. And 1st was Ava Roach. Next, Class 6. Class 6, you may enter at this time, where lead Malaya Bechtel, Cole Hatfield, Addison Fetty, Tucker Carr, Briar Simpkins, Cy Watterson, and Kane Brinker. Class 6. Judge Brew, I see a total of 7 heads. This is your class. And Class 7, make your way to the gate. We need Luke Hatfield, Nora Watterson, Josiah Fry, Bo Ward, Parker Fields, and Carter Stamper. Class 7, make your way to the gate, please. All Class 1 red winners from the previous 5 classes, you are on standby. All Class 1 or class winners from the last 5 classes.
I really like this pair of cattle, and they're very, very different in their type and their kind. We got a looker there in second, but again, at the end of the day, I like show steers. I like them pretty up through their front end, but they are market cattle, and still got to have some beef and some stoutness to them. This steer right here is an all-American fat steer prospect, and again, where I live in West Texas, where we slick them off, and what you see is what you get. Guys, they're going to be a darn nice slick cattle or haired steer, because he's beautifully haired. But look at the stoutness of his head, the shape of his back. I mean, he eats everything alive when you get right on top of him versus anything we've had in the ring today. A truly wide base one as well, and he gets out and goes. And for being so powerful, that calf handles his structure to the absolute nines. And he's a little short faced because he's so stout-headed. And the problem is, in relation to our second place steer, he's not just as clean up through his front end, and he's got a little rat tail, so his tail doesn't really help balance out his side view profile, and he could be a little softer in terms of his flank. Now, the front third I like better. On this steer, the young man's here coming in next. That's a real sleek and attractive steer through his front end. Buddy, in this class, as I get behind the cattle, he probably ranks 4th or 5th in terms of just true power and muscle from end to end. And with that, I wanted to make the case and use him to win and forgive his power, but he's a little straight as well. And in terms of his hind leg posture, so I had to use the muscle and just the soundness, the good practical steer there up front that leads you out. Buddy, this thing is a powerful sucker. When you get right in behind him, he too, like your class winner, just so big down his back, extra powerful from behind, and really stout in his bone work. He's a little too coarse, buddy, for me up to his shoulder, and just the way it sits onto his body, and with that, he'll kind of kick up in his spine and get a little tighter wound when we study him in motion. So if you'd like to switch 2 and 3 and tell me this steer's got more beef and more muscle, I could listen, but I really like the show steer quality there in the calf in second. This steer as well is a hairball. I mean, he has big legs and extra hair, real long body, real smooth, but you've done a good job just getting his body fed into him, a real soft, good doing type of a steer. This view is kind of his demise, and if you're over my shoulder here, he's just too narrow, buddy. From the ground up, when I get in behind him, I need a little bit more power and punch there. This steer has that. He's a little stouter, a little more muscular in terms of his kind. That's why I had these two flopped around for a while. Ultimately, I preferred his structure, a little bit nicer in motion. Because he too, like the steer in third, just right there at the edge of his shoulder. It just gets a little coarse and a little extreme for me. This black and white steer from behind I like. He's a powerful pin steer. He's got worlds of thickness and muscle shape. A lot like the steer in front of you. I'm real big on just the way the shoulder flows into the body there. And he's too extreme for me. And just the way his shoulder pieces into his forerib. With that, he'll get a little easy, a little weak there in his top line. We're going to round out with a calf that has advantages over those two in that area. A real level top steer that's nice up through his front end. I didn't think he had the same width and power as I got right in behind him from a muscle perspective, but a sound snake steer, no doubt about it. So a lot of differences once again here. I think we got one more class to go before we get you a champion. Big fan there of the fat steer prospect that we let out with. Give her and the rest of them a nice hand.
All right, thank you to Class 6, 7th place finisher Cole Hatfield. 6th was Kane Brinker. 5th, Malia Bechtel. 4th, Briar Simpkins. 3rd, Tucker Carr. 2nd, Cy Watterson. And 1st was Addison Fetty. Up next, Class 7 should be at the gate. Okay, Class 7 man at this time. We need Luke Hatfield, Nora Watterson, Josiah Fry, Bo Ord, Carter Fields, and Carter Stanford. Judd Brew, this is your class. Okay, the count in all 7 classes makes 53 total head in all 7 classes. 31 of those in all 7 classes are born and raised here in Mason County. Okay, all first place finishers in each class, report to the gate, please. All first places from each class. The previous 6 classes, report to the gate. All first place. Also, all second and third place finishers from each class, we need you on standby. Second and third place finishers from each class. If you finish 4th in your class, stay with your calf at the barn. We may need you. So stay with your calf. Do not leave. We need first place at the gate, second and third place from each class on standby.
Things up and kind of coming to an end to your prospect show. I'm very excited to see how these cattle stack up here in just a few. We've got a lot of different kinds. Mainly, just a couple of those classes were a little tough to figure out where we want to be. Buddy, I feel for you because I think this steer in second, by far and away, leaps and bounds our best second place steer of the night. He's going to be in contention here in just a few. Again, I work with young people each and every day on the college level. We get so in depth, and if you're a cattle breeder or like cattle, we talked about all those small little things, but at the end of the day at a county fair, we got to remember what the general public might see and how they perceive livestock. I know there's a lot of good cattle in this class, but if you have nothing or no idea about livestock or cattle, hopefully we can all agree that we like this red one up front. That is very, very good livestock. It goes beneath the hair coat. Again, I like hair. I'm not all about it, but I like hair. That thing is hairy and fuzzy, but he's packing a punch as well. He's not built like me. When you get in behind him, he has true power and true muscle, and then watch that thing catch a gear and go across the ring. He's a little round in his hip, and he can have just a little bit more clearance there through his chest and his front end. If you're just going to get real nitpicky, but I'm giving minor details on the calf that hit me real hard in showmanship the other day, and I was really waiting for him to come back. This smoke steer, buddy, as I said, man, he is real nice. So that calf is awesome through his front end, very smooth in his shoulder, and he's an expressive one. I mean, he is very lean and green still. So again, what you see is what you got. He is big and square up high and matches it from behind. Buddy, when this pair takes to the halter and gets out in motion, he'll duck his pins. He's not as athletic in his hind leg, and then he's not just as soggy all the way through. But those cattle, they're going to be in the heat of it here in just a second. This black and white steer is awfully nice, buddy. You got in third as well. That's another steer, very complete in his overall makeup, very sound in his structure. I thought he had enough rib and enough body to him. Maybe not just the same stoutness, we're going to get him behind. In relation to the two cattle in front of you, I just like to power that calf up. He fell into a tough group, because that steer wins a lot of classes we've had so far today. Work down the line here as we round out these next three steers. Hey, buddy, if we can fix the top line on your steer, he gets a little weird. His top line, past that is a wide-based, muscular calf that's extra expressive. I just didn't know how his top line came together there from the profile. Buddy, you do a really nice job with this steer, and he's lazy and dog broke for you and didn't want to get out and walk. That's a steer that's got some body and an easy feeding type of a look to him. Maybe just a little tall and a little flat in terms of his rib shape today in relation to that steer. A good body one you did a great job with. We're going to round out your classes here with one that's probably a little more moderate, a little easier feeding in his type and climb, and I think you have the same bone and just the same muscle from behind there. So just like we've done, we started in class 1 all the way this morning and kind of worked well with the young people. This was a really good class to round us up on. Give them a good round of applause here. We're going to get you some ready.
Thank you, Class 7. Our 6th place finisher, Josiah Fry. 5th was Luke Hatfield. 4th, Carter Stamper. 3rd, Bo Ward. 2nd, Parker Fields. And 1st place was Miss Laura Watterson. Okay, at the gate right now, we need all of our first place finishers, all first place finishers from each class. First place from each class at the gate now, please. And you may enter the show ring at this time. We're ready to find us a grand champion. From Class 1, we're looking for Addison Steen. She's with the Roadrunners 4-H Club. Class 2, Claire Thompson. She's with the Rainbow Warriors 4-H Club. Class 3, we want Connor Buckle. He's with the Roadrunners 4-H. Class 4, Brooks Patterson, also with the Roadrunners 4-H. Class 5, we need Ava Roach. She's with the Hillbillies 4-H Club. Class 6, Addison Fetty with the Rainbow Warriors. And Class 7, Nora Watterson, also representing the Rainbow Warriors 4-H Club. Now at this time we need all Class 2, or all 7 class winners, second place calves, all 7 classes, second place at the gate, all second place at the gate. We need all third place immediately in behind second place, all third place also at the gate in behind second. Fourth place, you be on standby. We may need to pull a calf out of fourth place, so you be on standby, please. All right, while the judge is making his final decision, I want to go over our sponsors here one more time before show in for our 2025 Mason County Fair Feeder Calf Show. Our grand champion feeder calf banner is donated by 3M Farms. The reserve champion feeder calf banner, All Climate Solutions, Heating and Cooling. Our grand champion will receive a belt buckle provided by United Producers and the Feed Stop. Rookie of the Year banner sponsored by the Fort Roadrunners 4-H Club. Jack Sturgeon Memorial Award will be presented at the end of the show to the grand champion. Also, the George Shell Memorial Award will be presented to the third place feeder calf exhibitor. Born and raised winner in the feeder calf show will receive $500 sponsored by Drop Time Properties LLC. Clean Stall Award is sponsored by Logan Farms. The banners for this year's came from the Mason County Career Center, designed and printed by the graphic design class. Mulch donated by DJM Hardwoods at Lanier. And David Rollins for placing all the mulch in the ring. We thank him for that. Also, Jack Rittmeyer down at Main Street Barber Shop down in town of Point Pleasant on Main Street. Thank you, Jack, for the concrete pad for the scales in the show ring. And of course, the backdrop donated by Rocky and Susan Sturgeon. Thank everyone for your sponsorships this year.
Finalize your prospect steer show. I know we still have your market cattle, your beef show tomorrow, but I thoroughly have enjoyed myself the last few days working with your young people and the livestock. And as I told you, I'm not a big grand drive speech guy, so I'll try to make this just a little quicker. But before we do go any further, I know this year's I kind of have something a little different on how we're placing these and moving them around the ring for the kids, for the staff, everybody. It's just a little different, so it can be a little challenging. But I'll tell you, I thought it's gone really smooth all the way through the pig show and down the line. So if you guys would please, the people helping, the crew, everybody helping in the ring, we've had the same group. That gentleman over there has helped us so much here, getting these things work together. Please, a little louder than that, please. This is awfully average. Thank you. They don't do it just for the claps or the thank yous, I promise you that. Same with me. We work with young people because we like it and we hope this deal keeps going on. So that's why I was very excited to come here and work with your young people on a county fair level, because I work so much on the college side and going to major jackpot shows that it's really enjoyable for myself just to go back to this level and work from the ground up and get to really interact and take time to talk with your young people. So I know at times it can get a little repetitive on the mic and working through classes, and you think, man, well, this guy just stopped talking. But I told you earlier in the heifer show, I don't like going to a baseball game and striking out and not know why I got a ball or a strike. So I want you to know if you got beat today, second or third, or don't get a bite in this, why you were beat. So that's why I try to take a little bit longer here. I said it in maybe the Vera show when I first came, and I didn't want it to sound negative to you guys, but I didn't know the quality of stock I was going to be given. When showmanship started, I knew, okay, we got some good kids. You guys have really good showmen across all species. But I knew these prospect cattle were about to be a lot of fun. And I think you look out across your 7 class winners, you should see cattle you like. Whether you know anything about them or not, they should be visually appealing to you. They're all nice, balanced cattle. They're all very sound cattle, yet they still have muscle and ability to grow and get to a next weight level. So it's been a lot of fun to piece it together. I'll tell you, it's been challenging in some of these classes to figure out where I want to go, but that's why I do this. If it was easy, it wouldn't be much fun. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you young people keep after it, because you guys have a really good support crew here and a lot of good livestock. Again, I won't take too long. I got nothing about life or knowledge. There's one that I kind of make a steer show easy on a fella. Again, you talk about livestock, they have the extras yet are basic and fundamental in every area. It's just hard pressed to turn this calf in this show. Then it gets real close as we work down the line here. I'm not going to take the mic anymore. We'll just get you $1,000 and make a sale order here. But you kids keep grinding. I said it the first day, there's 2 ways to lose, and it's either complain or mope or get back to work, and we always hope you choose the second one. So give them a nice big round of applause here. We're ready to get you some $1,000.
And our grand champion of our feeder calf show today, Miss Nora Watterson, Rainbow Warriors 4-H. Congratulations, Nora. Okay, now we need Parker Fields, class 7, into the show ring, please. Parker Fields. reserve champion, Addison Petty. Also, Addison is our Rookie of the Year in the feeder path class. Congratulations, Addison. And we need Cy Watterson, second place in Class 6 to step in. He's in the room. And third place goes to Parker Fields. Class 7, Mohama FFA. We need Bo Ward at this time. Bo, third place, I believe. Just come on in, third for Class 7. Mr. Bo Ward. And I believe, and unless somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Parker Fields is also our born and raised winner here in the county this year. Congratulations. And fourth place goes to Brooks Patterson, Roadrunner 4H. Now we need Nick Highland Durst, second place from that class in the ring, please. And our fifth place goes to Ava Roach. And stepping in her spot right now is seventh place finisher in that class, Wyatt Hirschfield. Sixth place goes to Cy Watterson. And we'll be looking for Tucker Carr, third place in that class, Tucker Carr. And here comes Tucker in the ring now. And from Class 1, Addison Steen, she's number 7. Looking for Cohen Durst. Second place from Class 1, Cohen Durst. And 8th place, Wyatt Birchfield. And now we need Ty Deal. Ty Deal. Okay, number 9 was Ty Deal. Now we need the 4th place finisher, Kylie Arrington from Class 5. We need Kylie Arrington from Class 5, please. Yeah, I see Kylie coming around the corner down there, Jack. Okay, our 10th and final placing is Claire Thompson. All right, that concludes our 2025 Feeder Calf Show. Congratulations to all the participants, the top 10, everybody else did a great job. Thank you, everybody.